So Adam Schefter went ahead and gave us a update. I say quote unquote because it's not much of an update. He gave us an update on the Shemar Stewart situation. He says, I think he's dug in on the language. He doesn't want to be the first one and be made an example of. The Bengals haven't had this language before. Other teams have had it, but the Bengals haven't. And he doesn't want to be the guy. He seems unwilling to budge. So based on what I hear here, he's trying to prevent himself from dealing with this, plus players of the future. So he's, in a way, fighting for himself and future players to not have the language that the Bengals are trying to impose. So Cincinnati says, hey, this is what we want to impose. This is the language, the principle we want to move moving forward. And he's like, no, we're not going to do this. I'm not going to allow you to change this language for future draft picks. Because eventually, if this does go through, eventually they'll look back and say, well, how did the Bengals were able to do this? Well, it's because Shemar Stewart gave in and eventually said yes. Okay. So this is like a bigger battle, by the way, than just simply... I think a lot of people think that this battle is just as simple as like, oh, he wants this and this and this. No. This guy's fighting against a whole entire system change. This guy's fighting against the concept that the Bengals are going to start changing their language moving forward. He's battling against for himself and everybody else, and he doesn't want to be the guy that they started with. Which, I mean, this is beyond the beyond. That's why I've said many times, this Shemar Stewart situation is so insane because I don't see how it gets solved. Now, Adam Schefter does believe that eventually the Bengals will cave and give in, which if they do that, then they could never moving forward try to use that language again because, again, they just caved. So eventually it would be every first round pick is going to fight and say, well, eventually they'll cave. This is just a fun time, huh? Going down a little bit, they do talk about Mike Florio explaining the situation. He says PFT has compared the Bengals' participation agreement with the language used by other teams, but there are some real differences. For example, Cincinnati agreement applies if a player sustains a disabling NFL football-related injury. At least one other team removed disabling, which introduces and potentially is an avenue for the team lawyering their way out of a deal. Okay, so we have disabling and the other teams do not. And the point is that if they wanted to down the road, they could use that as a way out of the deal because the wording, which obviously makes sense because, listen, that's why contracts are so important. That's why you have lawyers look over contracts. Because at the end of the day, there's always stuff in there that, a business, team, franchise, whatever, can use to kind of weasel the way out of things. So, makes sense that, you got to read every single word. And I'm sure Shemar's side is reading every single word of that. The Bengals agreement also doesn't contain a commitment to give Shemar... Okay, I don't know why it thought it says Shemar. To give Stewart a contract commensurate with being the 17th overall pick in the draft. The other teams expressively says the terms shall be commensurate with the player slot. Am I saying that word wrong or am I crazy? Hang on, hold up.
Commensurate.
Commensurate. Okay, thank you. I don't know why I was saying that word stupidly, but okay, commensurate. Alright, so that's also another factor. Oh, man. I don't see how the situation gets solved. I really don't. I mean, if he's fighting for himself and all the future first-round draft picks by the Bengals, then if he gives up his side, then he, I guess, looks bad, or he looks like he just is letting down all the future first-round draft picks. And on the other side, it's like the Bengals are like, well, if we give this up, then we're never going to be able to do this again. Why can't we just have a simple, situation on our hands? Like he just maybe wants a little bit extra money or something like that, and the Bengals could just put that in. I don't know. All I know is first round picks contracts are pretty much like set in stone anyway, so there's nothing that I don't know. What I'm saying is incorrect. They can't give extra money. First round picks contracts are pretty much set in stone. Oh man. Well, that's our update. Shemar Stewart, the guy who publicly bashed the front office, is fighting for the future of first round picks, and yeah, he's not gonna give in. So unless the Bengals cave, we're going to be in this situation for the foreseeable future. We are currently now 5 days away. Yeah, 5 days away from rookies having to report to training camp. And guess what? That's our update, which means there is no update. We are still in this situation, and we're hopefully going to figure something out eventually. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Make sure to like and subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.